Hey everyone, Brian Bogner, Greg Towner here, and we just want to take a few minutes to check in with you on where we are at and what we are seeing right now with the markets. And it's basically this, that we're going to share with you why investor skepticism, and there's a lot right now, is keeping us bullish in the markets right now. So Greg, take it away.
Yeah, Brian, we've continued to see a lot of wild market action. We, of course, had this huge rally off the lows from last month. The purple line is the S&P 500. And you notice now it's hitting that orange line. That's a declining 50-day moving average. Between that and the big rally we've had, it's not surprising that we're going to have at least a pause here. Maybe we even pull back some. I mean, certainly the consensus has been, oh, we need to retest the lows. We don't think we go all the way back to lows. That's our best guess right now. It doesn't mean we can't correct and come back and need to find some support. But right now we appear to be in a period of consolidation. And the next chart that we're going to show actually kind of backs that up. So this is data looking back to 1950. It shows the last 2 or so week period has been the strongest rally in that since 1950. So what does that mean going forward? If we look at all the other big rallies, if we look out 1 or 2 or 3 months, it's kind of muted. There's some negative periods there. So again, backing up, well, maybe we need to consolidate a little bit. But as you start to look out 6 to 12 months, almost every instance, almost 100% of the time, we're positive, and not just positive, but by vastly higher rates than historical annual averages. So if we're looking at history, we think that, in the shorter term, maybe we need to consolidate some. If you look out further, quite positive. Now, we talk a lot about sentiment, Brian, and we look at it a lot of different ways. We're going to look at a few things this week. And so this is a survey done on retail investors. And despite the market rally, looking over the next 6 months, only about a quarter of them are bullish. About half are bearish. So remember that chart that we just looked at, looking 6 months forward after the big rally?
Right.
It's usually so strong, but regardless, investors are not quite bullish yet. So we take that from a contrarian view as quite positive.
Right.
And let's just kind of add to that skepticism that we're talking about. We see here at the top, Vanguard, big money manager. They actually had to close their huge money market mutual fund that just holds cash because so much money was flowing into it, they couldn't manage anymore. And you know what that yields right now? Almost zero. So the money's flowing into there, even though it yields zero. Pretty amazing. And then the bottom chart here, this is more professional money managers. They tend to not hold much cash, but they're actually at their highest point since going all the way back to the 9/11 terrorist attacks. So clearly they're being conservative. We like to see, from a contrarian perspective, people not wanting to rush in, because ultimately at some point they're gonna feel the FOMO, and they're gonna want to chase things as markets move higher. Whether that's a month from now, 6 months from now, obviously we don't know for sure, but we like the overall skeptical setting.
So to sum it up, what you're saying is, look, we've had a strong rally off the lows. We're hitting that declining 50-day. And this is just a place technically that you would look at and say, hey, you're going to see a bit of a pause, a bit of a breath. Now, we believe that's going to be a consolidation here, and there'll be some ups and downs. A lot of people saying we have to retest the lows. We really don't know, but based on what we're seeing, we're likely not going to. That's our thesis, okay? And then historically, 6 to 12 months from these type of rallies that we just experienced are huge moves upward historically. And if you go out 12 months, 100% of the time when you've had these type of moves, you've been up. So the data in the history at least is telling us that 12 months from now, we will be higher. And we are seeing, just like you said, professional and retail investors showing a lot of skepticism, a lot of cash on the sidelines, a lot of bearish thoughts, similar to previous lows that we've had, and it gets us bullish, keeps us bullish as a firm. So if you have any questions about anything we've talked about today, give us a call, shoot us an email. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great rest of your day.